We now join our regularly scheduled programming, already in progress.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein. My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to kill? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain. I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, I warned you.
Am I on here? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
good,
all here.
Good deal.
The gang's all here.
Well, you've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute
Usual.
Podcast and Dissect. Oh, it's your turn. Or is it your turn?
No,
What is
it's
this?
your turn, because isn't this
Oh, so you leave that in then.
65,
Welcome
isn't
back to Frankenstein Minute Podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Bill Evenson.
And I'm Thom Lang. And apparently we're super cash here today.
Oh, yeah, we're just fucking
Casual
we're chilling.
Friday.
We're fucking chilling.
Yes.
Casual Friday.
Casual Frankenstein Friday.
Wow, what minute are we talking about today?
Last I checked, it was 65.
Oh, that sounds good. It's like an hour 5.
Yeah.
All right. You know what today is? So today's the 15th of August.
Yeah, I knew
For
that.
Patreons. Got a notification to remember to give the dog the pill.
Oh, see, I do that on the 4th, so.
Okay. Well, we do it every day, actually. That's the only thing I have for that day.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow, the 16th, we mourn the death of Bela Lugosi
Oh.
in 1956.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do a history of, just monsters, but in particular Universal monsters, this genre, right around that time is where it starts to kick into high gear and people starting to rediscover these great lost classics.
Well, yeah, because
right when he died.
Well, it was a couple years after, because in '58, Screen Gems purchased the television rights to the bulk of the Universal catalog and some Columbia horror titles as well.
Is this the same Screen Gems that made The Monkees?
Yes, and that would be what it was
TV
the shock package. It's referred to as.
Yeah.
And they started playing on TV after having been forgotten for about a decade or more.
Yeah.
I mean, the 50s were all about sci-fi stuff.
Yep.
Horror kind of dropped off. There were some here and there, but for the bulk of the 50s, it was sci-fi.
Lugosi famously died during the making of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Well, it didn't start.
I knew you were gonna.
It wasn't start.
I knew that was gonna push your buttons.
Didn't start as that, but that's fine. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, sure.
He died after they filmed some of the scenes that ended up in the film, and before some of the scees that aren't him.
Yeah.
Everybody saw Ed Wood. That's not a completely inaccurate description of the making of Plan 9.
No. I mean,
there's a lot that's inaccurate in that movie, but the making of that film it's
pretty close. I mean, some of it's exaggerated for comic effect, but that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, that makes for a more entertaining film than doing it as it happened, but kind of boring.
Donnie Dunnigan is 90.
Yeah, okay.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Happy birthday, Donnie.
Glenn Strange is 125.
And doesn't look it. Actually, he looked 125 on Gunsmoke.
On Gunsmoke, yeah.
Well, he always had that sort of craggy, lined face, which looks great.
Suits him well on
looks
TV.
Great as a cowboy or as a heavy, but especially as the Frankenstein monster.
That's right.
And he's right over there. He looks fantastic.
We're barreling towards Glenn Strange.
Yes, we are.
May Clark is 114.
Yeah, she looks it.
Well, that grapefruit incident. Yeah. Postal Inspector was released in 1936.
Was it? Yeah, everybody's favorite Universal horror. Yeah.
Postal Inspector.
Yeah.
Saturday is the anniversary of the release of the film Black Sabbath, which is not in any way related to Universal horror films.
It is just by the fact that it stars Boris Karloff. Yeah. It's a great film. Check it out. Both versions, the original Italian and the U.S. version, are on Blu-ray from, I think, is it Shout Factory or
I think you might be right.
One of the two. Both versions are great. The benefit of the U.S. version is Boris Karloff's voice.
Yeah.
You actually hear his voice, because in the Italian one, he's dubbed by somebody.
Who's not
Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff. Saturday also is Evelyn Anker's birthday. She is 106.
Doesn't look it, though.
No, doesn't look a day over 102.
Yeah.
Ilona Massey, strangely enough, on Tuesday we will mourn her death in 1974. She lived long enough to see Nixon resign.
Yes.
And she said, took one look at Gerald Ford and slipped into a coma.
Yeah, I can't say I blame her.
Well, I don't know. It's funny to look back at the Nixon and Ford administrations from this point in history and go, yeah, certainly could have been worse.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. All right, that's it.
That's all we got?
Let's talk about minute 65 of All New Thrills, 1942's The Ghost of Universal Pictures Frankenstein films.
It kind of is at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
It's sort of the last hurrah for the Frankenstein
monster. That's a really good point. We're really winding down Junior's starring films.
And this, I mean, he's in it far more than he was in the previous film.
Yeah, true. We've gotten a lot more Chaney than we got out of Karloff in the last one.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
But I guess those Karloff moments were just shining moments a lot of the time.
Yeah.
There was some great stuff.
When
And
he
some mediocre stuff.
wasn't just standing there or lying there doing nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
When he was actually given something to do, he's great.
Remember that scene where they put a big rug on him?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That was all of them.
Yeah.
He had a big rug on him.
He hated that.
Yeah, weird.
Absolutely hated it. You know, I can see why they went back to the classic emo look with this.
Yep.
You know, and it makes for a better toy with the black suit, I guess.
I suppose.
Anyway.
I don't know. As you're talking, they're all around you. So,
the minute begins with Ludwig saying something. It's hard to discern. He started to say, Bomer, you must be mad, but here you don't even hear the end of the word mad. It's just a bunch of noise.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because I think somebody else is like Bomer or
Igor
is saying something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
I agree. But that's just like an artifact of doing
it's
this
just
minute by minute.
So
I don't think you'd notice it if it wasn't.
You don't. Ludwig attacks Bomer, so Junior attacks Ludwig.
Yep.
As the gas attacks everyone else.
Yep. And so
70s villager is dead at this point, I presume.
It's that quick?
Well, we saw him fall over, didn't we? Or maybe it's in this minute.
Well, maybe it's in this minute. Either way, we should have seen it. I don't know. I don't remember seeing him fall over.
He does.
Okay.
He and a bunch, they fall over. I must have had it in a note last week and just didn't say it.
Didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
Go back to last week and
watch the minute.
Watch the minute again.
If you're a wise ass, and
let
us know
what happens in that minute.
So he tosses Ludwig aside like a rag doll.
Here's what I have: the monster tosses Ludwig aside like a rag doll.
Really?
So apparently that's what happens.
Apparently that's what actually happened.
Yep.
Tosses him kind of off screen.
Yeah. You don't get the impression it's like a great injury has been inflicted or anything.
No, you don't.
He just tosses him.
He just tosses him like he tossed him into the chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, as the villagers run riot in the house, Eric doesn't seem to mind that they're trespassing.
Well, yeah, he's given up completely.
He's just completely,
He's like, oh shit! Well, I made my deal.
I made my bet.
I made that. Yeah,
I'm lying in it now.
Yep.
Elsa comes downstairs with Cloestine finally and hands her to Hussman. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
she knew exactly where he was.
She knew exactly where she
how
was.
To solve this problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. She's very much culpable.
Everybody is.
What's interesting is I hadn't noticed this before we did it minute by minute. I don't know what the hell happened to me. Did we go upstairs and eat a pretzel or something? I feel
you must have.
What the fuck was I going to say? Nope. Oh, I know. When she hands Cloestine to Hussman, and then someone says, and I think it's Frone. It sounds like Frone. Says, "See, I told you it was Dr. Frankenstein."
Yeah.
But I hadn't really picked up on that before.
Yeah.
Because this is more or less the point of what's going on here. Yeah. So the torch-wielding mob has now been placated, and everything should be fine.
They know nothing of the monster at this point. The villagers, they don't know what's going on here beyond looking for Cloestine. That's why they were storming this place in the first place.
But what were they talking about it when they were outside, whipping up this frenzy? Weren't they saying? Well, didn't they say something about the monster, or was it all about Cloestine at that point?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who would be? Why can't they find him?
Yeah.
Were they talking about the monster, or were they talking about whoever abducted?
Who else would be harboring him but Dr. Frankenstein, basically?
Yeah, and then now it's, see, told you.
Yeah, told you it was Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, and then but then they leave. Or well, I guess we don't see Frones at all. I don't think, and I didn't see him.
He's there. He's just amongst the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that we actually see him exiting the building, but you do see everybody sort of piling out.
Do you have any thoughts or ideas about how to manage a situation where you're being exposed to poisonous gas or smoke of any kind?
I would exit the...
Well, exit would be number one. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Number two, I would think, would be get a cloth of some kind, wet cloth.
Covering my
Cover
face.
your face.
Yeah.
No one does that here.
No one does that here, and I probably would not be talking or shouting.
Because you run out of air. Conserve your...
Well, and also you would inhale some as you do so.
You'd think.
Yeah, but...
Did you ever see The Abyss?
Yes.
Remember when they come up with the plan for how to get from here to there? You drown, and then I'll just do CPR on you when we get over there.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to me that they did that.
Yep.
I mean, they obviously didn't, but it's a great scene, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Hussman's happy.
In particular, Eric, I just want to point out, doesn't cover his mouth. Eric,
he's running around.
He's doing whatever the hell he wants.
He shoves Martha and Elsa out the door. Get out of the house! Hurry!
Or he tries to, but Elsa doesn't go. She follows him.
She follows him. Yeah.
Or is this the minute that she says, "What about father?"
What about father?
She says, "What about father?" It's one of those weird things that she yells it when I'm like, okay, I guess. It's just odd.
There's a lot
going on.
The air is charged with electricity.
That's true. Everybody's
at a
I'm too quick to judge. Yeah.
Yep. I'll go back for him, and he does, and she follows, like you said.
She follows. No indication that anybody's doing anything
to prevent
avoid
themselves
the gas.
from being poisoned. Yeah. Meanwhile,
so why does she follow him? I think I know, but why do you think she follows him? He says, "I got this. Don't worry about it. I'll go get him." Why does she follow him then?
She wants to make sure he's got this.
Yeah, she doesn't trust him.
She doesn't trust him. Yeah.
Is she right? I don't know.
I mean,
would you trust him?
I don't trust anybody at this point.
That's true. We also know it turns out. All
right. I wouldn't trust anybody at this point.
It's an odd thing because there's
See, I told you.
This film obviously isn't like a love story about Elsa and Eric. It's not like it's gonna.
No.
The music's gonna swell and there's gonna be a sunset and they're gonna walk off into it.
Hand to hand. No, that
so
clearly
it's just kind of weird to see how their relationship is because they've gone through some weird moments and I don't think she trusts him.
I don't think so either. I think that's why she goes after him.
Yep. Okay.
Meanwhile, Junior looks like something he ate doesn't agree with him. He sort of walks up to the big table and kind of, like when you're gonna throw up and you get that like sweaty brow and you're like. In I believe it's the deleted scenes of the second Austin Powers movie. Remember, he's got that chair that gets out of control. I don't remember.
Dr. Evil is in a chair that gets out of control and he spins around a couple times.
So it goes on for like 20 minutes of that in the movie?
In the deleted scenes, it goes on much longer. And it's really... The funniest parts are, of course, in the deleted scenes. And in that one, he leans forward and does what you're talking about. And he's like... He spits a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you've got that spit in your mouth. Like, oh, good vomit. Yeah, anyways, that's what he looks like. Does he spit?
You're on your knees leaning over the toilet.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what Lon looks like here.
You're joking. What he's actually doing is he's doing something, but you don't see it in this shot. He comes up to that table. You think I assume you're joking. Yeah. He goes up to grab Ludwig, but it doesn't look like that in any way whatsoever. It looks like then they cut away.
It looks like he's putting his hands on the table to like whew.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. So honestly, I had this thought that I would take, because there's a lot of cuts in this part.
Yeah, because it should.
Not a criticism. It's the action and the climax. Yeah. But I wonder if you just took the shots of Junior from this and put them in consecutive order, if it would make a little bit more sense. Because we'll talk about it more. But he does something. He doesn't just throw up.
No, he doesn't. But that's for all intents and purposes in this particular shot and the way it's edited. Yeah, that's how it looks.
Yes.
Well, he drops Ludwig to the floor because he had him. He was pulled him away.
There's 3 shots. cuts. There's he throws him.
Yeah.
Then there's the shot where he walks over, like you said.
Yeah.
And then they cut away again, and then they cut back
to,
and then he
tosses him onto the floor.
So I think it would make more sense if we showed it all in without all the cuts. I think you'd understand what the fuck is going on here, and it's him. I still don't know what he does, but whatever he does is it's fatal.
Yeah, it takes its toll.
Because Ludwig is now.
Well,
I'm getting ahead of ourselves.
We're ahead.
All right. Do we see Elsa at this point? Do we see Elsa and Eric trying to get in the door?
They run up to the door. She starts to swoon from the gas.
Because she's a girl.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how that works. Yeah.
They've shown that the girl.
He's apparently
pass out.
Completely impervious to this.
Eric is a Superman.
He's running around and
he's doing everything.
Yep. And he's despite being literally surrounded by this poisonous gas, he picks her up and carries her out like he's like Superman or something.
Or like Frankenstein's monster carrying, or the creature from the Black Lagoon carrying a lady, carrying Evelyn Anchors. She gets carried around, right? I mean, does she get carried around in the Wolfman?
No, but she does in some of the other ones.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of still publicity photos. She's always in somebody's arms. Maybe I'm thinking of Frankenstein.
I don't think she's carried in Wolfman.
Okay.
Junior realizes it's not just something he ate. Something is wrong. Mm-hmm. Boomer looks up. Oh shit! This isn't going well.
Yep. He's not happy about it. But realizes, I guess I don't get the impression he knows what the problem is.
No, I don't think he knows what the problem is, but he realizes something's wrong.
Yep.
The way the monster is acting.
Yeah, I guess so.
He says Boomer like he's going to throw up. Boomer, you got to hold my hair back, man.
Especially in the 70s.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense what I just said.
Well, it gets back to why his hair was long on the sides and all those other makeups.
Yep.
Boomer, I can't see. Then we get the famous Boomer.
Yep.
Where are you?
I'm here. Boomer is like touched. He's like touching, like, oh no, I'm here. It's okay, sweetie.
Yeah. I can't see you. And in the script, he also says, I can't hear you either.
Oh, interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. Jackie would say the same thing every time he says, I can't see you. She would always say the same thing. Well, open your eyes.
Yeah, because they've been glued shut throughout the film.
More or less. Yeah. This eye makeup that's so well suited Karloff in the first film and was okay in the second film, and even by the third film was a little overdone, now is applied to a different person's face. And they just, you don't see his eyes in this movie.
No,
at all.
You don't.
Open your fucking eyes. How does he know he's blind?
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's stoned throughout the film, too.
Well, that's true.
I can't see
There's
you.
another reason for that.
And then, then we cut to a disheveled Ludwig on the floor. Your dream of power is over, Boomer.
Gotta say, you're right. He is disheveled. And the way that he's disheveled, his hair looks like mine. He's a little messy.
A little
but he's still, he's still very dressed to the nines. He's not going bowling in that outfit.
No.
Although he probably could tear it up.
You could, Boomer looks a little stunned at that point.
Yes. This is not turning out the way he expected.
You didn't realize.
But, I gotta say, he's had his moment.
He did have his moment. He showed Ludwig.
He sure did.
Because Ludwig's mad dream of power is over as well.
Good point. That's true.
It wasn't a mad dream.
He wouldn't describe it that way.
No, he was prove everybody wrong and, exonerate his father, which Wolf tried in a different way, and that turned out just as well. Actually, not this bad.
I think in this case, what I like about it is that it seems as if Boehmer's motivation is, unlike what the dialogue might tell us from Ludwig's point of view, I think Boehmer's motivation is just to make sure that Frankenstein doesn't succeed.
Yeah.
Like, he'd just as happily have pushed in a cart with a brain in a jar that was just a cauliflower. It would have been the same to him.
Just fine, yeah. Yeah, it's Igor's mad dream that's over at this point.
That's true. Yeah. Exactly. Well, are we getting... Does he say that here?
No.
Yes, he does. Your dream of power is
over. You didn't realize
his blood type is the same as Kettering's, and that's an interesting
his
cut.
Blood is the same type as Kettering's.
Yeah,
and he starts to turn around to look at whatever the monster turns around. It is like a slowly I turned kind of a thing,
and he can't see anyway.
So and that's where. God damn it!
And he's everywhere.
Yep.
Somebody left the door open. Same thing happens at my house.
Yeah, well, we leave it open for the dogs, and this is the price we pay.
That's right. Yeah, it's just a fly, I think. It's not like a wasp is coming in here to sting us.
No. Got any more questions, wise ass?
And that's it. That's all we have for this week. It's
Really?
now time for comments from the wise asses by Patreon wise ass comment level.
Brilliant.
Will Hohenstein writes, I can't see anything. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I say we should replace the phrase "okay boomer" with "okay
Hey,
boomer."
Nice.
I do like it.
They do.
When someone gets a little too big for their britches.
Yeah. Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. Yeah, you're going to replace the brain with somebody else's. Vincent writes, in the opening of this podcast, when we hear Boomer, does anyone else hear barf? No, just me? No, because for me, I wonder.
I know what it is.
We're throwing it out there, yeah, but I knew, to me, the Boomer thing was always,
I mean, we talked about
we did that one
long before
we
we
just said Boomer every few seconds.
We did. We talked about that moment long before we started talking about the film.
Yeah, true. It's an iconic quote from this film.
It's kind of a running gag as well.
In a way,
you know.
That's something we're gonna lose. We
Yeah,
don't have
well,
that.
yeah,
After this, it's all Faro La, Faro Lee.
That's right. Wallace is just chuffed for that, I'm sure, because he told us that his family at Thanksgiving or something or Christmas they all get together and sing it. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Maybe he just told me that.
It is a pretty cool song. I like the song.
Yeah,
it's oddly placed and played,
and it's out of place in a Frankenstein movie, but
in a way. But it also, whatever you call it, is what's the word I'm looking for? Diegetic.
Yeah,
it makes sense in that sense,
Because
and it plays there's a point to it.
Yes.
So I don't know. I like the song. I like the life is short and death is long idea. I don't know.
Like I said, it suits the moment in the film, and it does suit the plot, moves the plot along.
And it gives us that opportunity for Chaney to have that great moment. I think it probably is a great moment, but it's a little silly. He goes a little
great.
Off the rails.
It's great, probably not for the reasons that it should be.
Yeah, maybe not intentional.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all we have for comments, but I do have a comment from Mike Herman about one of the episodes. This was on June 20th, so I don't remember which episode it was. He says, "Not so fast. You're so eager to get through this thing, you skipped a minute." I don't know if we've talked about this, but I posted the wrong episode.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I pointed it out to you.
You pointed out to me that it's still posted on Facebook. So here's how I do it on Facebook: is I tell it when to go. I schedule it. So the good thing about the Patreon was when I did do the wrong episode, I had a full 24 hours to correct this for the regular feed and for Facebook, and I did.
Right.
And I went and looked, and it said it is now scheduled to post on this day instead of on the wrong day. And then I went to bed, and then I woke up in the morning, and you said, "Why are we posting all this shit on Facebook?" And it's like it was still there. It's like rescheduling it meant, well, continue to post it at the wrong time I told you, but also post it the following week. It's just madness. Chuck from Winnipeg comments, "The podcast that makes you check the calendar." And this is, I can't remember if we talked about this before, but Jason and I had dinner or something that day, and he said, "We had your dates wrong. You were talking about this or that." And I'm like, "What? Did I?" And then I looked, and, oh shit, it was the wrong episode. Only reason I knew is just happened to mention it. We have a new subscriber on YouTube, but I'm not going to talk about that. And I think that's it.
Did they leave a message or no?
Well, her name is Leanne Cornell, or she's just a bot. Probably a bot.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. How many subscribers do you think we have?
6. No, I have no idea.
I don't know either. Let me go and see. Frankenstein Minute. 109.
On YouTube?
Yeah, we have 109 subscribers.
Wow, okay.
Time to take a break. Time to... Should we talk about that?
No, not yet.
All right. You cut this out then?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all. We've run out of comments.
Yeah, okay.
What are we at, 15 minutes?
Not even a half an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, what can you do?
I mean, this is a action-packed minute, but there's really not a lot to... We talk about it. It goes about as fast as the minute goes. So.
Yeah. We could talk about Eric Idle's tweets.
Yeah.
Yep. somebody mentioned the end of that it was the anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of the last performance at the O2.
Oh.
It was like July of 2014, and Idol said this 10 years later, this is the end, or something like that. It was kind of cryptic, I thought.
Okay.
And somebody said, so no, any chance of a 10-year reunion or whatever? And he just went, no. So I guess it's irrevocably, but it felt that way before that too.
Yes.
Remember that if you watch the documentary, the Almost the Truth documentary.
Yeah, Terry Jones is like, yeah, this is it.
Well, Idol is pissed at Palin because Palin says, yeah, let's do something for the anniversary in 20 whatever it was, and then he's changed his mind.
Idol put it all together. It was a tour.
Yeah, I think it was
everything
a tour.
put together, and at the last minute, Palin backed out.
Yeah.
So
they did get their shit together and eventually play at the O2, but apparently
they had to because they were facing some pretty severe legal penalties.
Oh yeah, it was Jones in particular. His divorce, wasn't it part of it?
Well, that was part of it, but it was they owed money to the producer of Holy Grail for Spamalot. Apparently, they needed his permission or something and didn't get it.
I didn't know about that.
Something like that. Yeah, it was huge lawsuits. They owed a shit ton of money that they didn't have. So that's why the first one took place, the first show.
Okay.
And then they did a series of them because it sold out in like a millisecond.
Yeah, I know somebody that went to that.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's it. That's my Monty Python update.
All right. Yeah, we didn't have any for the last few weeks.
Yeah, people have been clamoring.
Yeah. Nobody's been drinking anyway.
That's right.